Hi guys, this is the study on Genesis chapter 1, now verses 6 through 13. So let me play that.
And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, an herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Okay, so I was reading this yesterday and tried to see what I could get out of that. Now, for one thing, firmament I wanted to define, so I looked it up in, I forgot the name of the Easton Bible dictionary, and also in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And I boiled it down to basically, it is a space or expanse, and it's also defined as an arch and a solid divider. So I know there's people out there talking about the flat earth, and I did think about that just to, give it thought and humble myself. But I firmly believe that we are on a globe. I have flown. I grew up in the military, and I've flown to Germany, and we went over the pole, so that would be kind of hard to do, I guess, in as much time as we did. Anyway, if you don't like that, I don't have anything against you. But the dictionary defined it as an arch, but the most important thing is that the firmament is an expanse, that it's a divider, and he called it heaven. So, he divided the waters from the seas and from the waters in the sky. And I also made a point to write down that it didn't rain until the flood. So I have no idea what this water in the sky was, how that worked, but God separated the waters, and it only misted in the garden, and there were rivers in the garden to water it, so everything was set up perfectly so man wouldn't have to toil. There was work, but it was joyful work. They didn't have to toil in the garden. So, I wish I could explain the rain a bit more, but I would like to learn more about that myself. And about the earth and the seas, God says it is good. And I put that it is like a marriage. The earth needs the sea and the sea needs the earth. And neither were more important than each other. So a man and a woman are married, but they are not more important than each other. And that's what I believe is causing this divide today, because men abused women because they were the lesser, and the whole thing with Eve, and she sinned first and caused Adam to sin. But of course, I don't know what would have happened if Adam hadn't sinned, but he had a choice himself. That doesn't make one person or one sex more than the other. We just have different jobs. And if we all had the same job, other things wouldn't get done. If we were both the same, how would we procreate, And God gave us different jobs so that we could divide up the work and not all have to do the same thing. And look at us now, we're all pulling our hair out. I remember growing up, I call it feminazi, the whole feminist movement and everything, and you'd hear the jokes about the men, and men are so dumb, and look at what we've done to our society with all this. Instead of respecting each other and loving each other, we've hated each other, torn each other up, and now we've ripped apart the fabric of society. So, let's not go out there hating on these people, because it's all of our responsibility to respect each other. And these people that have decided that they are gay or transgender or whatever that they're that way because they've been torn up. So we need to pray for our brothers and sisters, and we all have responsibility in this. It's not them, it's all of us. So anyway, the last thing that I wrote down was about plants. So once the sea and earth were separated yet joined, so God had to separate it so it wasn't just some swamp, Thank goodness earth isn't a swamp. I mean, not that swamps don't have their place, but we have to have solid ground and we have to have water. And once that was separated but joined in a proper way, then plants could be produced. God didn't make the plants first and then kind of try to figure out what he was supposed to do after that. He strategically planned these steps. And, he could have done what he wanted to do and done that, but this was the way that he did it. And everything that God does is perfect. So, and the plants were there after the earth and seas were separated and married, and they produced seeds. So we have these plants, that's like, what we produce in our life, the fruits that we produce in our life. And we've got to be careful what fruits we produce because those fruits have seeds. So like what I'm trying to give you little tidbits of knowledge that I prayed for, that God would give to me, and I'm giving it to you. And that's a fruit that will seed, and I pray that that seed will sprout to be something good. And excuse me, obviously we can pervert these seeds. There's this whole genetic whatever that we're playing around with in our society now that we're perverting, and that creates bad fruit or different fruit, which whatever God hasn't made is bad. I mean, he made everything, but God didn't purpose for us to be corrupted. So we have corrupted our fruits, so we have to look at our fruits and see what is right and what is wrong. We can't even tell that to ourselves because God is the one who has to clean us up. I was perverted, being raised in a bad environment, and God had to clean that and still has to clean that out of me, and I have to follow him and become more and more holy. Be ye holy as he is holy. So there was a little commentary, but it goes for today and tomorrow, so I'll just save it for tomorrow because it kind of covers everything generically. So I pray that I only give you truth, and God bless you guys, and pray for me, and I'll pray for you guys. Amen. See you tomorrow.